epic weapon. Alright, what's a move from rapier you like to do?
You showed them all. There are different ways to capture a blade though, so go ahead and go on guard. Let's say that I invite an attack, or I invite myself to attack to this line, so go ahead and go to parry it. And so if she parries it, I'm going to get stuck for quillings,
Yep.
She's going to stab me. So I might go to the other side when she does that, and she goes back. But I know she's going to go there, so I sneak my blade under, and I thrust, again capturing her blade inside the hook of mine.
Yeah.
This is very much the bread and butter of modern rapier fighting, at least in the Italian tradition. There are the Spanish traditions, where instead of sitting low like this, with their legs ready to move back and forth, they'll stand high with the blade out, and they'll be very methodical in getting close to their opponent. However, unfortunately, I'm not an expert in this tradition.
Fun fact time. In ballet, a ballerina is a woman. A cavalier is a man. That is because the French were so impressed with the strength and muscle development that was developed in ballet dance that they had all of their young noblemen learn ballet. These noblemen were known as cavaliers because a lot of the ballet stances use the same muscles as the French fighting stance. Meanwhile, in Spain, they had their men learn flamenco because the destreza style of dancing was developed by a flamenco dance instructor. So if you can do the flamenco, you can fight destreza. And if you can do ballet, you can fight the French. Yeah. Woo woo!
So, since we actually have a little more time, I'm actually gonna, again, you guys can say no. But I would like to show a couple more bouts, just because I think they're fun. Yeah, how do you guys feel?
I'm good to fence.
I'm good to fence. Do you guys want to watch us fence? All right. All right. What sword would you like to see? Would you like to see rapier? Or would you like to see or army? Raise your hand if you want rapier.
All right.
All right. Raise your hand if you want army.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can settle it with a duel.
All right. Raise your hand if you're someone who voted for army.
That was the side of the room.
Well, I saw her.
Oh.
All right. Dad, you're going to settle this. You're going to pick a number 1 through 20.
Nice.
You're going to pick a number 1 through 20. You're the representative for army. And you're a representative for rapier. So you pick a number 1 through 20. Dad, let us know when you're ready.
Okay, you got a number.
All right. Milady of the arming sword, what's your number?
12.
12. Milady of the rapier?
16.
16. Who's closer?
12, she got it, she's psychic.
Well done, Terry.
So, with the arming, you're going to notice that we're going to put on some heavier layers. This is my very light leather glove. Should he smack my hand, my knuckles would break.
Or should she smack my hand?
His knuckles would break, part of our historical demonstration. So this is what I call my clammy. It is a clamshell glove. It is based off of a glove, a gauntlet type thing that knights would have worn back in the day. The big difference is this is made out of really high grade plastic. Not quite armor piercing, armor protective. It's not quite like Kevlar, but it's dang close.
And this glove right here is a more modern invention. It might look like a motorcycle glove, and that's because it is designed after a motorcycle glove, but with key parts filled in so that there are different cracks in the joints do not expose my knuckles and my bones to breakage.
You okay if I have a buckler?
Go
Or
for
would
it.
you rather I do 2 clams?
I'll take you on just a second.
Okay.
All right.
All right, ready?
Ready.
That's
Good touch. He got me in the face. My reaction time was too slow with the buckler.
all right. 2 more.
2 more.
Fence. Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
If a sword is thrust through my hand, I'm not using that hand anymore. All right, one more. Ready?
Roll marbles.
Whoa!
We're good. We're good. You're good.
Good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
The wall's
We
fine.
apologize. By the way, that was good. That's fine.
I saw that.
You want to do one more?
One more. And let's. Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Oh, on the side.
You got my hand.
Well
fine.
done. Michael, can I take a bite out of you with small sword?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, good. I need water.
No, do it, do it. Please stay hydrated. We are all about safety and health here. But we're also about poking people. Because I've gotten more just just more and more excited and just better with the sword. Again, Michael's been a wonderful teacher, and the fact that he has to strategize more means that I'm getting better, which is incredible. And also, really good news, he had a procedure done recently. He was able to fence fully today, starting today, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is actually as much fun for him as it is for me. Should we also go to 3, or do you want to do the full 5?
Sorry?
I say you guys do 5. I can judge.
Do it! And again, this gets to be
Oh,
set
I'm
up in
so
the tournament. You're good. Yeah, I got one more
I
to
did-
go.
I didn't realize this was her sword. I thought it was just in the way. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Poor sword.
Ford forgives you.
Fencers on guard. Michael French, ready?
Ready?
Eliza Marion, ready?
Ready.
Fence. Halt!
Yeah. There.
After several exchanges, so attempts to attack and land, there was a successful parry riposte from Mr. French to the torso. 3 points, Mr. French. French, are you ready?
Ready?
Marion, are you ready?
Ready.
Fence. Halt!
Mine was passe.
Oh,
Good
was.
honor.
It was. I felt it, but that's good.
Yeah. So in HEMA tradition, when a fencer declines a point, we always reply with good honor and applause. Mr. French declines the point. That is a successful touch to the torso from Miss Marion. 3-3.
Now
Next.
you might be asking, why might I decline opponents? Well, judges are human, and humans make mistakes. And especially when there's blades going back and forth, it might look like I hit my opponents, but if I know that in fact I did not, I would not want to take that
Yeah,
point
because
because I
he
did not
got me
actually
with a
win.
flat of the blade, not necessarily with, so right as a passe. Just like that.
Mr. French, are you ready?
Ready?
Miss Marion, are you ready?
Ready.
Fence.
Nope, keep going.
Awesome.
Nothing done.
Oh, yeah!
I would say she got that one. A very successful thrust to the torso by Miss Marion. That is bout 6-3.
Good bout.
About.
All right, so let's see. We have taken you on a tour of time, explaining the sword and its Western tradition. For you later comers, if you're like, but I want to learn about the katana. I'm sorry, I'm not a nerd about that.
Nah.
Please go to YouTube. You can ask anyone, and they'll pull up some really good stuff.
While we would find those interesting, we are not experts, therefore we are not qualified.
Sadly, no.
Yes, we are not qualified. I can tell you, yes, that thing is sharp.
Got
And
it.
yes, I would not want to meet someone in a dark alley with it. And that's about all I got for you. We have done a few different bouts with the small sword, with the army sword. Does anyone have any questions? You could ask us anything, like about movies or such things. Yes, sir.
Is there any advantage to being right-handed or left-handed?
Oh, wonderful
Good
question.
question.
The answer is yes. It is the advantage to be left-handed.
Is it?
Yes, so the majority of humans are right-handed. So, when you're learning how to fight,
You're holding it in your right hand.
yep. And are you holding it in your right hand?
Hand,
Okay.
yep.
So when you're learning how to fight and you're right-handed and your teacher says parry cart, you're moving in the exact same direction. It's kind of opposite, but it makes sense to your brain. Now the moment you get a lefty in the mix and they say parry cart, it's like looking in a mirror. Have you ever looked in the mirror and been very confused about what side of your teeth the spinach is on? It's like that in fencing. So the advantage is to be the left-handed person. Now if you get two lefties together in the room, now you have two people who are very confused.
Are we?
Well, you don't know this because you've been learning with us here. But if you're not used to fighting someone of the same hand as you, suddenly, instead of it being a perfect mirror, parry cart, now we're almost making a V. Instead, before when I'm fighting a righty, the thing that is easy for me to target is this part of his body, because my body is in line with this part. But then all of a sudden I'm up against the lefty, and I have to now expose my weak side to get her weak side. When I'm fighting a righty, I'm going for their weak side and easy to defend my strong side. So yes, it's better to be a lefty, but I think that always.
Good to know.
All right, any other questions? Yes?
How important is the feet work, your footwork?
Michael's good at this.
Very. So, with swords, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate with the arming sword here. If I just stand like a soldier and I'm cutting, I could make some pretty decently powerful cuts. I could be pretty dangerous with this. However, if I need to get closer to my opponent, I need to step forward. Now, everyone knows how to walk. But if I can step in a way where it's easy for me to change direction, that helps me dictate the pace of the battle. So, if I'm stepping and I'm lumbering like this, all this time is time my opponent has to counter me without me being able to react. But if I step quickly, I can be very judicious and very granular about where I am at any given moment, and that is a huge advantage. I would argue footwork is as important, if not more important, than the blade work.
Well, I say it is more important because footwork is the key. Blade work is the hand that turns the key. I coined it when I was 12. Now, another thing that's important about your footwork, could you come at soldier's attention again? So let's say that we're in very close, and face me directly. Let's say we're in very close quarters, right? And we're doing what's known as grappling. And he's standing perfectly straight, and I'm standing perfectly straight. This doesn't make good dancing, does it? No one dances like this. When you're dancing and you have a partner, your knees are bent. Now we're both stronger, and it's going to be much harder. I'm not going to actually take him down, because this ground is hard. But with him being stronger like this, it's harder for me to push him off to the side. If he were standing up perfectly straight, timber!
Yep.
Like you did earlier.
I've got a long way to fall too. So despite me being a tall person, I actually like having a low stance when I'm on guard.
Anybody else? Questions about? Yes, sir.
Yeah, when you're fencing in a tournament, I can understand why you wear the helmet, but when did that become the common practice?
So the earliest. This is a fun question. Okay, so knights wore helmets.
Right.
But when did it become common practice for single-handed weapons? The musketeers of the 1600s had primitive masks, actually. They looked like dog muzzles that they would put over their nose and their mouths. There was a very, very famous man in history who refused to wear one of these things. His name was Cyrano de Bergerac, mostly because his nose was too big anyway to fit. And so they were originally just protecting their nose and their mouth because they didn't want to be disfigured.
Right.
Eventually, enough people got eye injuries that some people in the 1800s used the Inuit sunglasses to protect their eyes, but they didn't have very good visual. So it actually started in about, I think the first mask to look similar to this came out in the 1890s. This is steel mesh. This is my old fencing mask. If you like, you can hold it, take a look. I recommend not putting your face in it. It's very stinky. I went to the U.S. Junior Olympics in that mask. That mask is lighter than the masks would have been in the 1890s because the metallurgy has gotten
So I
better.
was just gonna say how heavy it was.
Yeah, so, the heaviest mask we have in the room is this one.
By far.
This is a modern mask. This was developed in what, 2017?
18, something like that.
Yeah, this was developed, this was specifically developed because of us HEMAists. This is known as the Cobra, and you'll notice that it has hard plastic like my clamshell gloves on the back.
Right.
It opens by pulling it apart, like this. So this is the heaviest, it's the hardest. I like it even with just small sword because it's easier for me to get on and off. Would anyone else like to hold the light mask?
And to add an extra bit to the to like when were masks adopted, part of this is a product of our time being post-industrial revolution. It's really easy to manufacture things and really easy to remake things. Pre-industrial revolution, you would see like practice swords and stuff like that, but they'd be as expensive as having a regular sword. And so oftentimes people would practice with like padded jackets, wooden swords, sticks, and they wouldn't practice their full footwork or their full cutting potential until they actually had to use it on the battlefield or in a duel. But with our modern technology, we're able to develop meshes like this, which are light but strong. We're able to remake the same thing in vast quantities, and so it becomes really easy and cheap to, well, relatively cheap, to practice with blunt weapons, unlike people were able to in centuries past.
Any other inquiries?
Is it better to have like a lower stance for like a lower center of gravity or like
That's a
just
good
do
question
that?
for you.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
So, if you recall,